Brilliant. Hello, everyone, or hello, the attendees we've got so far. I can see that number pinging up in the corner. Welcome to our webinar today. I'm from the FSI, and we at the FSI work with Click IT as one of our partners. So we're pleased to be able to invite them to run this session today on staying productive in a hybrid working environment. So something that a lot of people are facing post-COVID, of course. So we're pleased to welcome Adam and Jenny. We've got Adam leading this first section, and then Jenny will be helping out with the Q&A at the end. I can see we've still got a few more new attendees coming along, so I'll just reiterate we've got Click IT today, one of the FSI's partners, joining us for this webinar session. Do pop your questions that might come up in the chat as you think of them. Feel free to do that, but we will come to them at the end. And have plenty of time then to discuss anything that you might be facing that might come up during the session. Brilliant. So we do still have a few extra attendees coming along, but we're at 1 minute past. So let's crack on. I'll hand over to Adam now. And thank you very much. Click IT, over to Adam.
Brilliant. Thanks, Remy. Appreciate that. Yeah, so my name is Adam Graham, and I'm the Operations Director here at Click IT. We are an IT company specifically working with the third sector, with non-profit organisations like yourselves. We work with hundreds of charities across the UK and have great experience of the challenges in the sector, from anything from working with a very dispersed workforce, working with trustees, volunteers, low budgets, all those kind of things. And we're trying to help empower charities to really be able to get the best out of the technology that's available to them, and again the discounts and what's available. So we've got a really good understanding of that. We've been working in the sector for 20 years and dedicated to charities for the last 11 years. So again, yeah, if you really want to know a bit more about what we do, you can have a look on our website. But we're a managed service provider is our key to what we do. So if you have a problem with your IT, you call our help desk, we help you out. But we can also do things like cloud migrations, website design, hardware procurement, all those kind of things exclusively for charities. We also help with things like GDPR and cyber essentials as well. So if you do want to know anything about those kind of things and the other services we offer, there's a link in the chat to book a free consultation. It's completely free of charge for FSI members. Just click the link, it'll give you some availability, and you can book in to get a sort of half an hour slot with myself or one of my technical account managers. And yeah, hopefully that will be good for you. And at the end, we're going to do a Q&A as well. So if you put any messages you've got in the chat, and at the end I'll come back to do a live Q&A. I have cheated a little bit today. I have pre-recorded the webinar, so I will share my screen and play that, and then at the end do the Q&A. So I'll just do that for you now. And as I say, any questions you've got, put in the chat, and the free consultation link is in there as well. Thank you. Without further ado.
Welcome to the Staying Productive in a Hybrid Working Environment with Click IT. My name is Adam Graham, and I'm the Operations Director here at Click IT. And we have been working with the FSI for a number of years, helping to produce webinars, content, go to their events, and work with them to helpfully help charities and empower them technically and digitally. So the webinar today is about staying productive. So obviously we're all well aware of the changes to the working world over the last few years. And we really want to make sure that we can use the technology we have around us and the tools that we have to stay as productive as possible in the workplace, whether we're working at home or in the office or a mixture of the two. So let's get into it. So obviously staying productive in the hybrid working environment can obviously be tricky. It's a little bit disjointed, and there may be many ways in which you can increase productivity significantly using the technology you have around you and the tools that we can use to empower you, whether that be through technology or through working practices. You can work together and try and stay a bit more productive, especially with the keep on sort of chopping and changing, with some people working at home maybe 1 or 2 days a week, and then working in the office 1 or 2 days a week, and traveling as well now as well. So all those things together, we really want to try and make sure we can stay productive and use the tools that we have to the best of our ability, and use the routine that we can create and do everything we can to stay on board and stay productive. So today we've created 10 tips to staying productive in the workplace. More screens equals more productivity. So this is something that people think this is only for IT people, and that's quite a common misconception. Everyone in our office does have 2 or even 3 screens, but actually now a lot of our clients who are charities obviously have multiple screens as well. And if you've never used 2 screens before, this will literally change your life. You can literally drag things from one screen to another across the 2 screens, and it's really, really useful and easy to do. It's really important to be able to do that if you can. You can have your Outlook or your to-do list or your email or your CRM system on one screen and have a document you're working on another screen, or if you're applying to a tender or a service agreement, you can again refer to that on one screen without having to switch between windows. It's really, really important and really helpful to work that way. It's very, very simple, and again, obviously space can be an issue if you're working at home and in the office, so obviously they do take up space if you have multiple monitors, but it can be very easy to set up. Nearly all computers nowadays, desktop PCs and laptops, have the ability for multiple screens, so you can literally just plug in 2 HDMI screens together, or DisplayPort or VGA or whatever they are. And there's also an option of plugging a second screen into a laptop. So if you have a laptop, you can just plug a screen and there's normally an HDMI port or a display port, and then that will work as a secondary screen, so you can work on 2 screens together. It allows you to view and work on multiple documents at the same time and multitask with ease. Much easier and better to do, and it can help reduce eye strain, because again you're looking from left to right, that kind of thing. Really important, and if you can fit it, trust me, it's one of those things that's really helpful. It's definitely worth giving a try. That leads me on very nicely to docking stations. So again, we mentioned about having multiple screens, and obviously a lot of people now have a laptop they're working on at home, and then they'll take that into the office. And again, that's really helpful to be able to have that portability with the working world that we live in today, the hybrid working environment. But actually being able to dock that in and have either a second screen or just a screen and a keyboard and mouse makes your ability to sit and work for a long period, extended period of time, much easier. Often laptops have a small sort of 14 or 15 inch screen compared to what you might have on a monitor, maybe 21 inch, 22 inch, sometimes even 27 inch monitors. So having that docking station, again, nowadays very cheap. You can get them sort of from 50 to 100 pounds. Plug it into the side of your laptop or into the back of your laptop, and a lot of them again are universal. And you can plug your monitor in and you can just use those and work either in the office, at home and on the go. Very easy to use and very efficient, and really helpful to keep you moving in the modern environment without having to, have a desktop at home and a desktop in the office. Again, that leads me on in terms of desks to the correct desk setup. So having the correct desk chair and comfortable equipment, mice, keyboards, ideally a wireless mouse. Wireless keyboard's not so important, so obviously it's not moving around as much, but a wireless mouse is really helpful. And that kind of wrist padding, again, a lot of people struggle from things like RSI, which again, if you're using just a laptop and not a docking station, that can be really tricky to use that small keyboard that's on the laptop, and the touchpad again is not very productive at all. So you can use a mouse to work with your laptop, a wireless mouse ideally, and again use a separate keyboard with a docking station, and again having them set up nicely, comfortably. Again, you can have the keyboards that sit up a little bit, which is really helpful too. A correct chair. So again, you should be doing, and most HR departments will know about this, have a Dse Risk Assessment, which is a risk assessment on your chair basically, and that's nearly every office chair should have multiple adjustments to it. So again, people working at home, dining room tables, sofas, things like that, really not the most productive way to work. You want to be able to sit on a chair that can go up and down, left and right, up, forward and backward, to make sure you're comfortable and you can stay comfortable for an extended period of time if you're going to be at that desk for 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 hours, or more. So again, really helpful to have a comfortable chair. Monitors, again, really important that you've got the monitors up at that eye line, so having that ability to adjust your monitor height. Again, you really want your eyes to be level with the top of your monitor, so that again you're not looking down or not looking up. And again, another real reason, going back to that docking station thing, having a laptop, having to look down at a laptop is really, really bad for your neck, really bad for productivity. So be able to look up and look at that eye line as well, and have your monitor adjustable. And a nice, clear, tidy desk. We're probably all victims of this. Photos of the kids, the family, cups, sometimes snacks, things like that on the desk. Little toys or trinkets you might have brought into the office. But trying to keep that as tidy and as clear as possible, so that you haven't got a desk that has, lots of, clutter around it. Again, that helps you stay really, really productive. So if you can try and have a nice, clear, empty desk, adjustable height monitor, comfortable, adjustable chair, and again, ideally a docking station, keyboard and mouse, or again, a desktop PC with a keyboard and mouse. It helps reduce things like back pain, eye strain, and work for extended periods of time really productively. Regular breaks and minimising distractions. Again, this has been something that we've all had to deal with over the last sort of couple of years. Working at home, kids, pets, husbands and wives, things like that, boyfriends and girlfriends being there around you. And obviously, again, going back into the office is the other way around. So you might be used to working on your own or in a relatively quiet environment, and then going back to the office, you're now working in an environment where there's lots of people, disturbances, all of those kind of things. So it's really important to try and minimise those distractions, but then take regular breaks as well. Because again, working for 6, 7, 8 hours straight without stopping, it just really hampers your productivity. So trying to keep clear of distractions and take regular breaks is really, really important. So again, a lot of phones now, Android and iOS, have the ability to track your screen time. So again, that's one thing that, again, a lot of distractions come from phones. So using the apps and the built-in apps on Android and iPhone to track your screen time, and also setting your phone to do not disturb, setting those, only really important notifications to come through, like phone calls and maybe the odd text message, rather than having, WhatsApps and your social feeds coming through while you're at work. You really want to set those to do not disturb if you can. So I'm an Apple user myself, and I know on an Apple device you can schedule notifications for apps, so you can set them to come up at 7 AM, 12 noon, 8 PM, that kind of thing, so you can keep your social media to stop, pinging up and distracting you all day long, just a couple times a day, so that you can check it when you're available, have the time, and you can change the times of those notifications as well. Again, let's say focus time, do not disturb, things like that. And then the other side of it, again, making sure that as well as not being distracted, we're taking regular breaks. So setting yourself, 10:30, a little reminder in your diary, go and take a break, cup of tea, cup of coffee, glass of water, whatever it may be. Just a little bit of time away from the screen, so we're not getting that eye strain and we're staying really productive, clearing our heads, that kind of thing. Lunch breaks, now again, sometimes people have probably got habits where they've not taken lunch breaks or taken shorter lunch breaks or just eaten at their desk. And that's, again, one of those things that is important, to obviously work as hard as you can, but at the same time, those lunch breaks are really, really important to recharge your brain and refresh and get you ready to go for the afternoon. If you don't take the lunch break, again, keep you stagnant and stop you working as productively as you would like. And again, standing up. I know a lot of people, some of these places now have stand-up desks, and that's really, really, really important. If you can get a stand-up desk, because again, productivity is much, much better if you can stand up. But again, not everyone's going to have the money or the space for a stand-up desk. But again, just making sure you're trying to get some time standing up at least once an hour. Again, very, very difficult. We're on these long Teams calls or Zoom calls and meetings, things like that, to try and do that. But where it is possible, do try and get that standing up, gets the blood flowing and gets you moving and all that kind of stuff, and helps you stay productive. Oh, sorry there. Focus Assist. Now, this is something that's built into Windows 10 and Windows 11. It's really, really important. Focus Assist is built in, and it's a little sort of a moon icon or a sun icon in the bottom right-hand corner next to the clock. And you can set Focus Assist to stop you getting distractions on your PC. So very similar to what we were talking about earlier on the telephone, where you can set Do Not Disturb. Focus Assist, you can say, okay, I only want to see really important alerts. I don't need to see every email that pops up. I don't need to see every message that pops up on Teams. I need to be distraction-free while I work on a specific document, or a certain project that I'm working on. So you can set times for Focus Assist, or you can just turn it on and off as you need it. So if you're about to work on a long-winded document, you can set the times you're going to do that. And you can also filter which notifications come through. So as I say, you can have emails still coming through, but maybe not Teams messages, or the other way around. You get you're blocked from Teams messages and emails, but maybe you just get Teams calls. Or you can block everything out, so it allows you to stay completely focused. It's a really, really good tool. Not many people know about it. Check it out. If you just search on the start bar, Focus Assist, or look in the bottom right-hand corner, it should be there. And it's really, really easy to set up and do that. And again, you can choose which rules and which times and all things like that, or just turn it on and off as you need to. Really good tool and really important to keep you productive. To-do lists. Everyone loves a to-do list. Again, a lot of people will still use paper to-do lists, and that's absolutely fine as well. Having a notepad and a pen and a to-do list, writing it out kind of helps clear the mind, gives you something to concentrate on. Sorry, not to distract you, to concentrate on, and you can set priorities and things like that. Obviously, a lot of people have done that, but if you haven't already, Microsoft To Do is a fantastic tool. You'll see it here scrolling next to me. Sorry, up here, and it allows you to add to-dos to a list. You can have separate lists for different projects, for just today, or for longer term projects, or for different meetings, and then they will sync across your mobile phone, your tablet, and your desktop PC. So you can mark things as done on your phone, and it will mark it done on your PC, and vice versa. Really good to keep you, again, productive and help you work in a hybrid environment where you may be working on a phone while you're on a train, or you may be working at home or in the office. That Microsoft To Do app will keep things synced across. You can also share the to-do list with colleagues, so you can have shared lists, so you can collaborate together on those lists, allowing you to work together on certain things and assign them to people. It can set reminders, so at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever time it may be, you can set a reminder on the app to remind you have to have that to do and be working on that. And also add due dates, which again, really, really important. Say, okay, I've got a huge list to get through, but actually these aren't due till the end of the week, the end of the month, that kind of thing. So really allowing you to work productively and keep on top of all those many, many things you might want to be working on at once. Helps improve organisation, keep up to date, and it's very easy to use this app. So it's called Microsoft To Do. It's free within the Microsoft 365 suite, but I know there are other apps available, and again, just paper and pen sometimes can work too, however you want to do it. Recurring Outlook appointments or recurring iCalendar appointments, again, really, really important. I often block out time if we have those recurring tasks that people work on. You may, work on payroll, or you may work on a specific service contract or a specific project once a week, once a day, once a month. And having those in your diary and making sure that you've booked out time, because again, everyone's very, very busy, and you might get stuck, loads and loads of meetings in your diary, that kind of thing. So I'm making sure, and I'll make sure my team as well, booking those regular appointments into their calendar so they can see, every Monday at 9 AM I've got to work on this project or this service. And it's really, really important, and it keeps you focused. It keeps you sort of able to make sure there's time available to do those tasks, the recurring tasks. Stops you from losing track, and it lets people know that you're busy, so they can't book the meeting in for that time because you need to spend half an hour or an hour on that regular task. And again, the Outlook reminders, how helpful are they? iOS reminders pop up. You've got to run payroll this week. Brilliant. Okay, I'll get on that. And it books you time out to focus as well. And again, with that Focus Assist in Windows, you can get that to turn on and off with Outlook. So again, if you're using Outlook, you can use Focus Assist to pick up on those diary entries and say, right, when a diary entry comes in of this type, set my focus time to priority only because I'm working on this type of project. Microsoft Bookings. So Microsoft Bookings is a brand new feature that we've been working with just quite recently, actually. It's really, really helpful. Again, free within the Microsoft Office 365 suite. And what this allows you to do is to share with people a link, so whether that be internal or external, a link so that they can book in meetings with you or book in appointments with you for certain times. So they will be able to see, okay, here's the times when you're available, click on the link, view your calendar, but only view obviously the times that you're available, so they can't see everything that you're doing, they can't look at other appointments, they can just see your availability, and book in appointments to those. And you can set allocated time, so they can be half an hour, an hour and a half, whatever you really want them to be. And then you can also set buffer time. So for instance, you can add, okay, if someone books with me, I want half an hour before to prepare for that meeting, and then half an hour afterwards to do follow-up notes. And so you haven't got back-to-back meetings all day. Because again, really, really important for staying productive. Going from one meeting to another, you're never going to have time to refresh, get a cup of tea, take down the notes, clear your head ready for the next meeting. So that's really, really good feature within Microsoft Bookings is the buffer time feature, allowing you to add half an hour before and after the meeting. And again, it's really, really good. It sends out an invite to the user who's booked the meeting and to yourself. So you get a meeting invite in your calendar, which can again sets reminders, all those great functions that a calendar appointment has. And they can also then rearrange and cancel as well. So you haven't got to say, oh, when am I free? I can do Monday at 9 or Tuesday at 10. You can just send a link, here's my availability. They click on the link, go through, search your availability for what time they want and that suits them, booking the appointment. It sends you an email with a calendar request, sends them an email with a calendar request, and that'll also as well, if you use Microsoft Teams, actually book a Teams meeting. If not, you can have a custom link to Zoom or just your telephone number if that's the way you're doing it, or it can be in person. Again, it all depends on how you're doing your meetings and appointments. But again, really, really good for external parties, and really, really great for staying productive and allowing people to not have 3 or 4 emails to book an appointment or a meeting, just that one link they can go to and just book it themselves. SharePoint and Onenote. So again, this is obviously quite Microsoft heavy here, but we are a Microsoft partner. We do work with Apple as well. But SharePoint and Onenote are really, really good for keeping you productive. So SharePoint is a collaboration software which allows you to store documents, so organizational wide, that you can store all your documents in one place, have different team sites for HR, services, users, those kind of things. But it allows you to collaborate, which is really, really good. So you can have multiple people work on the same document at the same time. So you can work on an Excel sheet, a Word document, a PowerPoint presentation, all of those things at the same time. Really, really great for working and staying productive with your colleagues, whether you're in the office, at home, on the go. Because even if you're on the go, it has an app for your mobile phone or your tablet, so you can access your documents on the go and be able to view those from wherever you are. It's all cloud-based, very, very secure, highly reliable, really, really good and worth looking at. And OneNote is exactly the same. So OneNote is a great tool that again syncs across multiple devices and platforms. So if you can have your OneNote notepad, as it were, on your desktop PC, and that will sync with your laptop, and that will sync with your mobile phone. So wherever you are, you have the same piece of notes and information, so that you can work wherever you are and stay productive in this kind of hybrid working world. Microsoft Teams. So we kind of already mentioned Microsoft Teams throughout in terms of staying productive. But again, it is really, really good. It's a really great tool to use. Obviously, people should have probably have experienced video meetings, which again, can save a lot of time if you are, stops you having to travel from place to place, so rather than face-to-face meetings. Obviously, face-to-face meetings are still really good. Teams can get those quick meetings out of the way, help it when people cannot get to the office or cannot get to a certain place physically, so having that Teams meeting, but also using like the chat functions within Teams and the group functions, so you can have group chats, group collaboration, and being able to stay in touch with your colleagues and external parties. So I'm not sure if a lot of you might not be aware of this. You can actually speak to external people on Teams as well. So you can chat with someone externally who also has a Microsoft license, and again, a lot of our colleagues and a lot of our partners and suppliers will have Microsoft Teams, and just being able to chat rather than having, again, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 emails back and forth. Having a chat running with a client or a supplier can be a really good way of staying in touch with them and getting quick answers to questions that are out there. So the chat function, the groups function as well. So being able to have a team, for instance, for different departments. We have that in our office, so we have service teams, so that people can stay together and stay communicating very, very easily and quickly and get quick answers to things, whether they're in the office, on the go, or at home. Teams also has an app, an Android and iOS app, as well as obviously the desktop and laptop apps. And if you can't get to any of those, again, it has the online web portal. Again, you can synchronize documents in there, so you can share documents, share notes, and just collaborate on the go. Really, really, really good to use, really easy to use. So hopefully that brings us to the end of our top tips, and hopefully you found some of that really informative. You know, we are trying to help people to work together and work inside and outside of the office and both things together. So it is sometimes difficult, you know, that today I'm getting on the train, today I'm getting in the car, going to the office, tomorrow I'm working at home, or actually I'm going to work from, you know, away. I'm going to be away this week, but I'm going to be able to still be able to catch up with documents and catch up on my work and keep everyone informed of where I am. So staying productive. Hopefully it's really helped you. Hopefully, you know, you've got some information out there that's helpful. As I say, we are an FSI partner and we offer free consultations to all FSI members and best practice analysis. What that means is we're happy to look at your entire IT setup for absolutely no cost at all and give you some recommendations on how you can improve that and hopefully either save money or at least improve on what you're doing so that you can make you more productive as an organisation. So if you do want to do that, there'll be a link that you can get to book a Microsoft Bookings link to get to my diary and be able to book in a meeting with me after today and have a one-to-one catch-up, and we'll discuss your organisation and your needs and what you can do to stay productive in your charity or non-profit. We're now going to follow up with the Q&A, and I'll be answering your questions. Thank you for your time today.
Hello, hopefully you found that informative. Thank you for watching. Hopefully there's some information there that you can take back and use, and if not, again, maybe we can set up a one-to-one session to discuss what you're particularly struggling with or your needs of your organisation. So again, that link to book a free consultation with myself is in the chat at the very top, and that's a Microsoft Bookings link. So you can click on that and you can get to my diary and be able to book anything you need. And if there are any questions you've got, I'm here now to do a Q&A. I see Jenny and Remy have put a couple of questions in here already, which I'm happy to go through. But I'm more than happy to have a look again. Thank you, Remy, for posting that again as well. So there's a couple of questions here about is setting up a docking station easy to do and how expensive are they? So again, yeah, really docking stations are really important. And nowadays there is a lot of universal options available. So again, going back sort of 10 years, you had to buy a very specific docking station for your laptop. Now with modern technology, USB and USB-C, you can get universal docking stations, some that don't even require power. They just take the power from the laptop, and they can connect straight in. It's literally plug and play. There's no software to set up, and these go from sort of £30 to £100 depending on the type of functionality you need within the docking station. Some will just provide USB ports for keyboard, mouse, and maybe a monitor, and some will provide power to the laptop as well, so they can actually have a power plug and transmit power back into the laptop to keep you charged up as well. But again, really, really helpful, really useful, so that you're not just working on a standalone device, that you can have a monitor, keyboard, wireless mouse, that kind of thing. Is there a particular brand of desk chair or equipment which is the best? No, I would definitely say that it's all down to user preference. One of the things that is important with a chair is to have the ability to adjust it in multiple ways, so that you can up and down, move the arms, have arms on a chair is again really important for posture and keeping that correct, and having the ability to adjust the back and all those things as well. But there's no particular branding that we use or recommend over others. There are some great options to say for standing up desks, and definitely having monitor mounts if you can, rather than just having a monitor on the desk because they are quite low. Having either a monitor stand, which you can get from Amazon for sort of £10–20, or a monitor arm, again very, very cheap on Amazon for sort of £10 or £20, that you can mount your monitor to the desk, and again it gives you that height on the monitor so you've got it at eye level. It's really, really important to keeping your posture and your productivity there. Microsoft To Do, yes, that is a free service, as well as Microsoft Bookings. So for all of the technology that I've gone through today, all of those features are available for free for non-profits. So as a non-profit, you're eligible to up to 300 licenses from Microsoft Business Basic, completely free of charge. That includes Microsoft To Do, Microsoft Bookings. That includes OneDrive, SharePoint, and Exchange email. So all of those features are completely free for nonprofits. You can check out Charity Digital, or again, get in contact with ourselves and we can put you in the right direction. And they're all completely free for nonprofits, so really helpful. And again, if you want to go to the next level and have the software, which Outlook, Word, Excel, nonprofits again get discounts on that. They get 10 free Microsoft Premium licenses, which also include Intune that we didn't talk about today. But again, I can follow up on Intune if anyone wants to discuss that. And then they give you discounts above the 10 if you want for Premium. So again, really, great for nonprofits to take advantage of this free software that's available. I find recurring Outlook appointments really helpful, especially from both monthly financial tasks. Yeah, exactly the same. I have a weekly billing task in my diary that it comes up every Wednesday morning. Payroll. We have obviously things like VAT return as a business, but again, as a non-profit, you might have to do reports for your trustees or reports for your service users or for your funders, and again, having those recurring in your appointments. How do I implement SharePoint? So again, SharePoint is quite a large tool and it can be quite complicated. I would say that you can set up SharePoint yourself, but really setting it up with best practice in mind and using a professional, either a company or an individual, to set that up for you so that it can grow with your organization is really, really important. You can just go into Microsoft, set up a SharePoint, start dropping documents in. But if you do that, that's great on a very small scale. But as your organization grows, you really need to look at things like permissions in terms of GDPR and security to make sure that you're building it the right way, so you haven't got to deal with potential security concerns or breaches or having people accessing data that they shouldn't be accessing in terms of permissions as well. So I would definitely recommend, if you are looking at SharePoint or indeed G Suite as well, any kind of online cloud document sharing, is getting a professional to set it up correctly from the start. You can then manage it yourselves, but definitely getting that starting point correctly set up and make sure it's secure and well done is really, really important. Again, we can help you with that. Again, book a consultation, we'll do that for you. Is Microsoft Teams more productive than Zoom? I would say that they're both very similar. Zoom is obviously just really for video calls, whereas Teams does have more functionality. So Teams does have obviously the chat feature, but it also has the ability to collaborate and share documents, which I do not believe Zoom has that. So Zoom is great for setting up video meetings similar to today, but Teams does have more features. And again, as a non-profit, that is completely free of charge. So definitely some options available for you there. I can't see any other questions here. I can see there obviously are still 14 of you here. So if there are any questions at all, please do get in touch. I believe that Remy will be sending out a recording of this webinar. So you can view it again or share it with your colleagues, and we'll be putting it on our YouTube page as well. So again, you can check that out. But again, for FSI members, we do offer a completely free consultation. So you click on the link in the chat, book in, and we can help you out, whether it be with your productivity or setting up SharePoint or discussing cloud solutions, or indeed IT security, GDPR, cyber essentials. Any of those things are all things we cover. Your website, if you're having struggles with your website, you're looking to build a new website, again, we do all of that in-house here. We cover the whole country from a managed support, website design, cloud solution perspective. So all of those things are available through ourselves, and we provide all of these services for the FSI as well. So again, if you want to get in touch, please do, and we'll be happy to speak to you. That'd be fantastic. I'll hand back to Remy.
So I'd pop up to just say a thank you to Adam and to Click. That's been really helpful. And yes, we've recorded the session, so the recording will be available, and I'll make sure we can get that link in what we circulate as well, so you can get booked in with Click. So yes, thank you. And yes, we've still got a few attendees, but yes, brilliant. Thanks, Adam. It doesn't seem like we've got further questions, but that was really, really helpful.
All right. Thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Cheers.